Alexa, stop timer. Okay, so I started painting on Pikachu. Well, actually, I started painting on Pikachu yesterday, but Pikachu has to be stripped because the yellow paint I put on didn't cure, and I was having issues this morning. So I have to go put another layer of clear coat on the clear parts because those are painted. I'm just clear coating them. I'm gonna work on the base and get that done. And when I'm done with all that, I'm gonna strip Pikachu back down to bare resin and start over because that's always fun to do. I'll be back. Okay. What's up? It's alright, I was in the spray booth. My timer to put on another coat of clear coat went off as soon as I started live, so I'm here. So the clear parts have now been painted. I just got done putting on the second coat. Yeah, it didn't look like anything. So I just put on another coat of 2K clear on the clear parts, so those got to cure overnight. I'm gonna get the base painted, and then I get to strip Pikachu. So let me show you what's going on there. So I put down This yellow yesterday, it's actually the perfect color. It's a Krylon rattle can called Sunburst something or other. It's a gloss. And you have to let it cure for 20 hours or so, and I did. And I went to go mask the black, and it's wrinkling, and also it's leaving tape tracks. So I did seal this last night with a flat, but the yellow is isn't cured. So yeah, it's basically I've got to strip this guy and start over. There's no saving it, unfortunately. So that my black is wrinkling. It's just, ugh. It is what it is. But in hindsight, there are two little bubbles, a couple bubbles I found that I didn't see previously on the tops of the foot, so I can fix those because. And I'm going to use a different. I'm not going to use a rattle can. I think I have a Tamiya paint that's pretty close to this. I like this yellow because it doesn't have a lot of white in it. I don't know. I would call it what I call a warm yellow, even though yellow is a warm color in general. But so I have to start. I mean, in camera he looks good, but I'm looking at it and it's like, yeah, this is not going to fly. And it being just a big solid piece, it's got to be like the paint's got to be as perfect as possible. There's nowhere to hide any mistakes. So unfortunately, it is what it is. So I'm gonna put him back there in the back because it makes me sad to look at him knowing I've got to strip him. So I got this face painted, which I don't think it'll take too long. It's just rock and grass. Sorry, we got the cleaners are here, so they're gonna vacuum me and stuff in the background. So let's get this painted. I guess it'd be pretty simple, I think. I say that, and then hopefully, maybe get this painted like in the next hour or so. And I got a late start today, so I had a doctor's appointment that I had to go to. So I think I'm gonna start about an hour, a little over an hour later than I like to. That's when I started to work on Pikachu and realized, yeah, the paint's. I tried to save it. It's just not savable, unfortunately. Because the paint's not cured now, I don't think it's ever going to cure. I'm not sure what's going on. It could be humidity, could be all sorts of things. Oops, something. I dropped something. Hopefully that wasn't important. So I gotta clean my airbrush out really well because I just got done spraying 2K clear. And I don't break it down all the way, but take the needle out, run lots of thinner through it. So once again, one of the simplest things to do is turning into something a little more difficult. If I didn't have the snafu with the yellow, I probably would have gotten. I think I could have gotten all the painting done today, but. So my goal today is to get him stripped in primer. I got to put down white before I put the yellow down because you need a white backer for yellow. And I don't know if I have enough of this Tamiya color I have. It's called lemon yellow. It's a little warmer than what I have, but if you look at pictures of Pikachu, his yellows vary drastically. Some are very muted, some are very on the orange side. So I'm trying to pick something kind of in the middle. So hold on, I'm gonna get more thinner too. So I can show you one of the clear parts. This is what the clear parts look like. I did this on the other flame effect and also on the cheeks. So that's what that'll look like, and when it's lit up, it should look really nice. Okay, I need to get more thinner. Come on, a little thinner jar here. I think Tony's in here. I think just Tony's in here. Anyone else? Alrighty. So let's do some, we're kind of approach this like we did the Charizard. I need to do my best to not get any kind of moisture down in the base. So actually, I'm gonna plug these up. I think what this is gonna do. I got tape on the wires, but I'm gonna put some putty down in the keys just to cover up the wires and prevent any. If I do a wash, I don't want any liquid getting down in the keys. So the little keys won't be painted on the inside. That's okay. At least not down on the bottom. I can paint some black in there by hand. I did. So there's a 1/2 inch magnet on this side, and there's a 3-inch magnet on that side. So he's super stable. He doesn't tilt back at all now. So when you go to put him in there, he's gonna wanna go in really snugly. So yeah. Okay. Let's paint this sucker. Let me get some more golden paints. Start with some raw sienna. Let's start. Let's shake it up. I haven't used this in forever. That's too orange. I don't do it. What else I got? Let's start. What's this? Oh my gosh! I'm just having. Did you see the clear parts, Tony? Or the one I showed you on camera here? So you can do like a wash again. We're going to do kind of really nice bright green for the grass. I got a plug, I got silly putty in the cord there, and where the plug goes, so that should be protected. Alexa, volume down. I'm just going to do some thin washes here to kind of stain everything. Did you see my did you hear my answer earlier about the magnets? I got magnets in both feet. I don't have my computer up here, so I got to look at the stop and tap the back of my phone every few seconds to see if anyone's replied. Hair dryer. So I'm just kind of start with like a sandy wash. No, I have never done that adult. I used to have a bunch of kits, but I just never built them. You know, at the time I started getting into figures, my kids were a lot younger. So my daughter's now 17, my son's 14. So I've never had any. I've never done any. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing them. But it's like if I did something, you know, 5 or 6 years ago, I just wouldn't display it. Okay. Now I'm going to do some dry brushing on this. I'm going to bring it up real bright, bring it down, again, back and forth, back and forth. I gotta spend some time cleaning my pallets. They're all dirty. I got like 10 of these things. But they're actually easier to clean the more they get used, the paint dries. And you can just peel it up. I'm gonna keep this out. Oh, son of a... Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Today's just one of those days, guys. I opened it up and the paint just spilled everywhere because the dropper part was not in the bottle. Oh, my gosh. Some days are just... don't go great. So far, this has been one of them. Between having to strip Pikachu and just not spilling paint everywhere. So this is MIG cold gray. The MIG paints are a lot thinner than the Vallejo there. So again, this is really bright to where than what I want, but I like to put some highlights down before I start doing more washes and stuff. So I'll do this and then I'll seal that, and then I'll do the next round of washes, and then more dry brushing and stuff. Kind of wanted that sandy undertone. Alexa, play Pandora Gunship. I need something a little more chill rather than heavy metal progressive music right now. I'm gonna go ahead and dry brush this grass too, because I'm gonna do the grass with probably an airbrush real tight. So when you do kind of like that wash I did in the first, I'm still seeing a little bit of the primer through everything, so it just gives another little tonal variation. So it's just not gray, it's just not that sand color. It's got different, very subtle undertones, and you typically don't see them in photos, or you just see them in person. It's kind of actually what I can do is I can airbrush. Being dealing with the things. I've had really good luck with the Vallejo. I've never used the Vallejo primer. I've heard nightmare stories about the Vallejo primer. So I use Badger Stynylrez as my go-to. I have a bunch of the Mr. Color thinner primers back from my Gundam days, but I don't use them very often. I got the $500 all the way up to $1,500, but I just haven't used them. Even when I did the Sazabi, that was all Stamarez. But the Vallejo paints have been really good for me. Okay, so I got this really bright kind of sandy limestone look to this. We're going to bring it down here in a second. Okay, let's put that to the side. This is just my dark brown wash. It's actually got kind of a custom mix. Start kind of laying in some shadows. Yeah, I can leave it. I can leave it this kind of tone. I think on the other ones, this character is just pop more on a slightly darker base because they're so vibrant. So Pikachu's, he's big and yellow. He's gonna pop no matter what we do. So if you want to kind of leave it this kind of brown tone, I'll stick with it because I was gonna do something different. Not different, just kind of like my normal stuff. So when I do bases like this, what mostly changes when I'm doing them is kind of like my first undertone. Um, I get that natural rock look, you know. That's usually kind of sets the mood for the whole piece is when you do that first wash. But I never leave white on stones because unless it's like I guess sandstone sometimes can have white, but it's rare that you see maybe limestone which have a lot of white in it. I have to kind of look at the skull. It's like, what is it telling me? What kind of stone is this? I'm gonna make the grass really bright and vibrant, super bright green. So like where the grass meets the stone, I like to put a shadow around that. All right, we'll keep it on the lighter side. Still have this fucking cough, man. It's better than it was, but that's my doctor about it. It's like, she's like, your lungs sound fine. So I was like, man, I'm really worried about my lungs because of all the painting I do, and even though I wear a mask most of the time. So no, your lungs sound fine. It's like it's just probably your allergies thing you got going on. My dad died from complications of lung cancer at 59, so he was really young. He used to smoke all his life. I've never smoked in my life, but you know, what's worse, smoking or painting? And again, I always like to hit the bottom edge with a nice hard shadow. It just gives it some weight. So I usually make that bottom edge pretty damn dark. And then the bottom will get painted black at the very end. It's the last thing I do on bases. So I just spray from the bottom up and let it kind of fade up the side. Just get a nice blend. So when it's on your shelf, it just gives it some weight. Alright, so if you like this tone, I'm going to come in here with, somewhere I got, no, I'm out of it. Ugh. I don't like pure white, so I'm gonna add a little of the sand color to the first color I put on as a dry brush. It'll, I think it'll tie it together nicely. Actually, that's what I'll do. Put this back in here. This is sand. I just put a little bit in with the wash I have. And just tone down the highlight just a little bit because it's pretty damn near white. And I think it's a little too bright. No, maybe I killed it too much. It's alright. I'm going to do this. Again, it's a lot of back and forth. I think I killed it a little too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finish blending this. I'm going to add this to the cold gray that I put on first. These rocks actually might be close to being done already. Pretty simple base. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that sand that I got in there. I'm going to mix it in with that. Mix a little sand with this highlight color. Again, so it's just not white. Put back in. I'll probably hit it one more time with that cold gray. I killed my highlight a little too much. Remember, it's really. And a little more of that cold gray again. And just lightly going back and forth to hit just the very tops of everything. Again, I don't have my computer up here, but on the back of my phone it looks really, really white. It's not stark white like I see it on the back of my phone. Got a nice warm tone to it. I am going to take some shading gray and add that to my going darker in the shadows, get a little more contrast in it. Sometimes they're really dark shadows with this other slightly darker shadow color. A little more contrast. Did you see the clear part I showed on camera, Tony? I don't think I answered my question there. If not, I'll show you. I'll bring it back out again. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. I'm gonna go seal that. Actually, I think I can. Okay, for the grass, I'm gonna start off with a really dark green wash, so don't freak out. Okay. I'm gonna airbrush my dark green, olive green wash on there. I'm real careful. I shouldn't have to do any masking here. There's already some highlights there from my dry brush, but this is going to be the shadow color for the grass. And then we're going to dry brush progressively brighter greens on top of it. That should get a nice effect. This is basically what I did on the Samurai Wolverine, this right here, what I'm doing right now, on his base, and the grass looks really good. And I'll have to go back in and just kind of touch up around the edges a little bit with the shadow color to take care of any overspray I haven't gotten from the green, but if I'm real careful, I should be able to do it. Just real tight. Are you talking to me? Yeah. I gotta take a dog break 1 second. Okay. Sorry, I had to kill up the dogs. You guys can come hang out here. There's nowhere to lay. My floor is a disaster. There's crap everywhere. My work area is an absolute mess and it stresses me out. I got so much shit in here right now. From finished projects I gotta deliver to repairs that keep showing up. Just have no more space. I'm out of space, man. I do not want to get a storage facility. I looked at them, and even the small ones, like 150 bucks a month. Like, what the hell? Like for a freaking closet. And I don't want to have. I've said it before. I really don't want. Feel uncomfortable having like everyone's stuff like not in my possession. Okay, so I'm just kind of hosing this on, just letting it do its thing, just to kind of tint this grassy area. And you know, it dries a lot lighter. When I put it down, it's like super dark. It dries quite a bit lighter. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna go seal this, and then you can dry brush the grass and see how we're looking. I'm gonna go seal this, and I'll be back. Okay. Do. So that was my Vallejo. It's olive green wash, and I just sprayed it on with the airbrush. So now we're going, and I just went and sealed this. So now we go dry brush the grass. It's this wash is very, very, very watery paint. It's more like a stain than anything. But you just layer it on. I just put it on really heavy. All right. Now, blazing grass. We're gonna work our way up. That, and then probably this. So this is just cheapo craft paint, Shamrock. Yeah, I'm gonna get out a relatively flat brush. When I get to the edge, I kind of come and I just use the tips of the bristles to kind of get those little pieces on the very edge so I don't get any of this on the stony areas. If I did, it's at the end of the world. I seal this, I can clean it up pretty easily. And this is that cheapy craft paint, so it's not super high pigmented. So it's perfect for this. And I'm being pretty aggressive with this. I'm kind of getting it a little bit everywhere. Again, that wash is just kind of a base undertone, shadow tone. I took on some of the green and the gray, doing it that way. I get a little bit of the green, a little bit of the brown tones from the primer and everything underneath the grass, and it just adds a little more, again, variation. Grass isn't green everywhere. It's got browns and yellows in it and all sorts of different colors. Right, that's looking pretty good. Sure thing. Yeah, when I'm painting out, if you watch for a while, 9 times out of 10 I try to say what color I'm using. Sometimes I forget, but I always try to say what color I'm using. And the name of the color doesn't matter. It's really just, it's what I have. You know. I've got like, I probably own like 500 different colors of paint, and I probably use, on a regular basis, I probably use 20 of them. Maybe not 500 colors. That's maybe a bit exaggerated. A couple hundred different colors of paint between all the different types of paint I have. And I would say I used 20 of them, not 80% of the time. I need to clean up this brush before I forget. I always forget to clean up my my dry brush, and then the bristles don't stay soft. Okay, so that was Shamrock. Again, not that the color name matters, but if you're following along. Now I'm going to come in here with this really light. Oh, this is what the hell? Oh, fresh foliage. So it makes sense. This is fresh foliage. This green has a lot of white in it with a little bit of yellow. Again, just cheap old craft paint. And this one I'm gonna be a little more. I'm gonna just kind of hit the tops of the grass. Just using the flat part of the brush. We'll build this up because again it's craft paint, so there's not a lot of pigment in it, so it dries down quite a bit. Little pan like stone right on it. Take it off. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, craft paints are great, man. I airbrush them quite a bit, actually. Um, there's a couple good examples. So, like the Wicked Beast that Tony has, that base is all done in craft paints. I airbrushed the metallic blue on. What else did I do recently with craft paints? They have great metallics. You just gotta know how to spray them. I did a Christmas ornament prototype with them. I couldn't find the colors I wanted, so I mixed up my own metallic craft paint and thinned it down with water. You just gotta build it up slowly. You can't hose it on. And yeah, you can do a lot with them. I got a bunch of figure buddies that use mostly craft paints. It's like anything else. It's really not the tool. It's knowing how to use the tool. I mean, look how awesome that looks right there. Nice and bright. And we've got all those undertones from the other greens and the browns. But that right there, that's exactly what I was going for. So once it dries down a little bit, I go back and hit it again. I just keep building it up till I get the brightness I want. Again, because these paints don't have a lot of pigment in it, and they're fairly translucent. So again, I'm not covering up all the work I did previously. It's still there, so you're just seeing it through. This color, and after this, I mean, I don't know. I may be done with this base. It's looking pretty damn good. If you're there, Tony, let me know what you think. I think the stone looks nice. It's like a nice sandstone. It's not white. I refuse to do white rocks. uh, they're thinner. Who's thinner? You mean like craft paint? They make it thinner? I mean, it's just water. That's all I ever use. But do they make a specific thinner form? I didn't know that. Yeah, this little bottle right here is like 98 cents. Maybe it's $1.25 now with inflation, but I got a bunch of people that use apple barrel. I don't think I've ever used this. Is like Anita's folk art. Okay, if I want to bring this up one more level, which I might, I don't know. I thought about adding a little yellow to this, but Pikachu's yellow, and I'm not going to do that since he's so yellow. I mean, he is yellow. I don't want the grass to blend into him, so I'm going to leave this kind of like as it is. I think this looks really good. All right, I think the grass is done. I'll create text. Look back on the comments. What'd you say? Over the edge. Oh, like you wanted to come over the edge of the stonework? I mean, I could paint green, but there's nothing sculpted in. So for it to make sense, I think I'd have to sculpt some of the grass coming over the edge. I think it'd look cool, but I would have known that. I wish I would have known that earlier, because I'd have to sculpt it. I've already painted it, but I can do it if you want. It's up to you, man. I don't think it would make sense for me just to paint green over the rock. I think it might look like what I'll say, not moss, but like what I did on the other base, algae or whatever. To sculpt it would have been super easy. It would have taken 20-30 minutes to sculpt the extra grass, but yeah, there's nothing on the base. But yeah, I think it'd been kind of cool if somebody came down the edge. A nice effect. Oops, I got. This is why we seal things. So when you get paint where you don't want it, you can take it off. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't have my computer in front of me, so I have to look at my phone and push a button. I think this looks really good. Grass is nice and bright. Got this nice kind of sandstone color. So I'm going to seal this again. I think I may call this done. Okay, so it's not completely done. So I'm going to show you how I paint the bottom of these bases after I painted them. So, pretty simple. Okay. So what I'd like to do now is paint the bottom black. And what I do is I airbrush it, but I don't mask anything. Because if you do it right, you don't have to. So let me get some, just use black Stamo res. And then once it's dry for an hour, so I'll put some felt feet on the bottom. So all I do is I flip it upside down, and I just spray from the center out. So I keep it at a really oblique angle, just like this, and I can get right to the edge, and I don't get paint on anything. You know, look at the edges, come in and fill it in. And if I did this right, I shouldn't have any paint on the sides. If I do, I can wipe it off, but this usually works pretty good. Yeah. Alright. I'll let that dry for, I'll hit it with the hair dryer just a little bit. Good coverage. Actually, I'm just going to force dry this with the hair dryer real quick for a minute or so, and then I can put felt feet on the bottom. Okie dokie. I buy these felt pads like hundreds at a time, so I go through them pretty quick. Put a bunch of these around the base. So I got just not gonna scratch up any surface that it's on. And when I'm done with the whole thing, I'll sign it. I don't sign it until I'm done with the whole project. But all right, there you go. That looks really nice, and that was really a simple paint job. Okay, let me clean up from all this, and then so I'm gonna ask again. Did you see the clear parts, Tony? I showed it once earlier. I'll show it again. If anyone else is there. So I got. Well, I've clear coated it. So here's the here's after the clear. So it looked nice lit up. Okay. Yeah. Those look good. Okay, let me put this aside back here. And then we'll clean up a little bit here, and then we're gonna strip Pikachu and get him hopefully back to one. What time is it? So I haven't used the black. That's what I just sprayed is Stynol Res. I haven't used the Krylon Black Flat in a while because I used to love it, but I think they changed the formula a little bit because I was having problems with it. First of all, it wasn't drying. It really wasn't drying very well, and it wasn't drying flat. So I haven't used it in a long time. When they switched everything from just straight up Krylon to this Krylon Max crap, it pissed me off. It's like, oh my gosh, everything worked great, and they go, let's change the formula. Why fix something if it ain't broke? And that's all it's Krylon. So really, the only Krylon I use mostly is the sealer, the flat sealer. 90% of what you see has been sealed with Krylon matte, and I can actually control flat, and I can control that on how I spray it. So if I want it really flat, I just kind of dust it on. But if I want, like it's usually I have like a matte finish. I'll put on like a dust coat, and I'll put on a wet coat after that's dried for a while. You just don't want to hose it on because you can run into problems. Okay, let me clean all this up. Let me clean up some brushes. So now, since this is a 3D print, and I've already got wires inside of it, I gotta be careful. So I'm just gonna basically use paper towels and lacquer thinner and strip them back down. So I hope I can do it relatively quick. I mean, I didn't spend a lot of time spraying the yellow yesterday. What I spent some time on this morning on was trying to fix the yellow, and then I'm masking off some of the areas and spray the black. And that's when I decided that it wasn't savable. So you have to know when to cut your losses and just shift directions. So the base is done, the clear parts are done. If the yellow would have worked out, I don't know if I would have gotten them done today. I would have gotten them most of the way, but I would have gotten really close to having them done, painted basically in a day. Okay, so now I need to get a bunch of gloves. These are going to melt relatively quick because they're not solvent resistant. I wish they made really thin gloves like this that were solvent proof. I even bought some that said they were solvent proof and they melted in acetone. Like, so anything that's like really resilient to acetone, stuff like that, they're super thick. You can't do anything with them. Like I don't know. You'd think that'd make something that's like kind of skin tight. That was solvent proof, but I don't know if they do. Alrighty. This one. So you can see I put a white base coat down first. You gotta put white underneath yellow. Otherwise it'll just look muddy. So the last time I had something where I had a reaction, it was on the Judy. Unfortunately, it was for Tony again. It was on the Judy kit, but I was able to sand that. It didn't take me that long. I think it took me like an hour to get it back to where I could paint. I had a reaction with my 2K gloss on that one. But there are a few little bubbles that I saw after I started spraying paint, and that happens a lot of times where I think I got everything taken care of, and I'll see something after I'm started to paint. So there's like on top of the feet, there are a couple little bubbles. So since I'm stripping this guy, I'll go ahead and get those fixed. Because to try to fix those after the painting would have been really, really, really hard. Since it's a rattle can paint. So I'm not going to use a rattle can yellow. I'm going to go ahead and find something I can use in my airbrush. I was trying to be smart because I was trying to find something that would cover well and give me even coverage, but I think because it's a gloss, it has been a little humid here. I think the humidity just would not let it cure. It should have cured overnight, no problem, but it just didn't. You can see where I started to put the black. I started to put black on this morning, and it started to wrinkle. I'm like, well, that's right then and there. I knew I had issues. Yeah, we'll get them there. I'm not worried about it. It's just frustrating. I hate when this shit happens, because especially when you paint as much as I do, and you do everything you normally. The only thing I changed was using that rattle can, and it's like I was trying to, because my worried was that to get a real even coat of paint on this, it's gonna be really tough with the airbrush because it's so big. And yellow is yellow and red are the two hardest colors to get an even color. They just don't cover well, so it's really hard to do. So I thought the best way to do it would be the rattle can. It would get the most even coverage, and it technically did, but it doesn't matter if it doesn't. If I can't spray other paints on top of it, And he's gonna be super sticky because it's a gloss, and that's why I don't usually spray gloss paints, because they're just really sticky. I'm gonna go through a ton of paper towels. Which is fine. Paper towels are cheap. It's one thing if you get a piece from a factory and you gotta strip it because they screwed up, but when I screw up and I gotta strip it, it sucks. I hate it. I thought the tail turned out, but I went to go back look, and where I sprayed the black, initially it was fine. It did end up wrinkling. So this yellow does not like to have other paint spray on top of it, obviously. It's not play nice with others. He's gonna look good when we're done. It's a setback, unfortunately. I think I get this strip pretty quick. There's no super intricate details I have to get into. Just like the crevices of the feet and stuff. There's a Q-tip there. Again, this is one of those things where working, and it's like I know something's. I was convinced I could save it when I first started working this morning, and then I got to the point where it's like, okay, stop it. You're gonna frustrate yourself. You're gonna get mad. Um, you just have to know when to stop and do something else. So. Alright, first glove is dead. That one lasted a little longer than I thought it would. I need some baby powder. My hands are sweaty and I can't get this glove on. A little bit of talc up here. It's not talc. I don't know if I didn't hear him. I heard the door open. I thought that was Alina coming home for lunch or something, but it must have been them leaving. There we go. Okay. Does it work from the bottom up? Another challenging thing is there's really nowhere to hold this guy except for on this key right here. Okay, so once I get done strapping this guy, I'm gonna spot putty these few little spots I see on the top of the foot. And there's one other little spot I saw kind of on the ear. I don't think any normal person would see it, but I saw it because I was looking at it real close. The ones on the feet were kind of obvious, so I'm gonna fix those. Again, I didn't see them when I was doing my initial prep. So sometimes paint just brings out errors that you don't see otherwise. Gotta clean out his butthole. It's his tail. It looks like his butthole. And give Pikachu a colonoscopy. Well, busted already. Okay. hard part is getting the paint out of these little cracks and crevices, because if you don't get it out, you could end up with issues in those little areas later. So you gotta get it all out. Acetone is really the best thing for stripping paint, but it's really, really aggressive. And I wouldn't want to have this print exposed to acetone for that long. A little different when you're dealing with, again, like resin, castable resin. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 2:10 p.m.
What time? Okay. If I can get this stripped and primed before I have to go get my son today, that'd be great. Because then, I think what I'm going to do is, let me get this stripped. Let me get him in, fix those little pinholes. I really need to get yellow on him today so I can finish him tomorrow. So I'll probably just work later tonight, since I got a late start anyway. We have got nothing. It's Thursday night, so we got nothing going on here. So what I'll do is I'll just take my time, get the white base coat on, let that dry for a good, 30, 45 minutes. I use Mr. Color paint for that because it's thin. And that's what I used for the first base coat, and it covers really well. And then go to the hobby store and see if they have any more of this Tamiya lemon yellow, because I think it's a really good color. Actually, might like it a little bit better than this color. I'll do the list pretty quick. Yeah, he's gonna be real. That's for sure. He'll be nice and clean. He was nice and clean before I started the first time. But you are correct. He'll be even cleaner now. mean, as I stripped it, there's a lot of material on them. I think maybe that yellow, maybe I put the yellow on too thick. I don't know. I did a bunch of light coats, but it took a lot of light coats to get full coverage. So hopefully by switching to a hobby paint, um, it'll dry fast, it'll cure quicker, and it won't be so damn thick. More thinner here in a minute. You go another 5-gallon drum of thinner. What's that? It looks kind of scary this way. Like it'd be like Pikachu, like a Pikachu horror film. Like lights and dust. Actually, need a stiff brush to get in there. Just a little toothbrush. I forgot I had a crappy toothbrush I could use to help loosen this up. I hear thunder? Yeah, it's like Pikachu. It's like Pikachu's revenge. Ah. It's like Pet Cemetery Pikachu. Give it some more thinner. I'm actually doing pretty good on getting this guy stripped. Now I had some putty work on the top of his head. Hopefully that didn't. I'm not sure if this. I'll take that out. We'll see. I'm gonna take that yellow spot putty since I'll have it out. That's some spot putty on top of his head. I'm not sure if this thinner is gonna take it out or not. But since I'm gonna hit those spots on top of the foot, I'll hit it again just to make sure. Here, his eyes and his mouth would be the toughest part to get, I think. Almost there. Not too bad. Not as bad as I thought it would be. Not sure what you got going on this weekend, Tony, but I'll be able to play. Everyone's going to Lake House this weekend. I'm staying home so I can do a little work and take care of the dogs because taking the dogs to Lake House sucks. So I'll be home this weekend. Doing my chores I gotta do around the house. But I'm thinking I'm gonna start another build. I've got my barbarian. Um, I'm not sure I'm gonna get any stronger than he is. I kind of messed up all my master working because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I just kept taking things to level 12 without really thinking about trying to re-roll for better FXs. So even though I got a bunch of stuff to level 12, I'm still not crazy powerful. So I may start a sorcerer build. I got owned to 100. Now I was just trying to find the gear and stuff. I know a lot of people are running Druid. And I've been in a couple tormented boss battles with Druids, man. They just one-shot them. It's crazy how powerful they are. Alright, we're almost there. Now it's raining, which sucks, because that means it's going to be hard for me to cut my grass tomorrow. It's going to be wet. Using my brush here. Getting some nooks and crannies. There aren't many nooks and crannies on them, but the ones that are there need to get clean. Maybe this will have some keep transferring paint from that glove to areas I've already cleaned. Even though I already cleaned this, I had paint on that glove and now I gotta take it off again. Okay, even though this is a pain in the ass to do this, I feel a lot better having done it than trying to work with what I had. So okay, from what I can see, almost all the paint off. I'm going to hit this a few more times with some clean rags and clean thinner. Make sure we got everything. And then I'm going to spot putty the area that I know needs spot putty. Again, the 2 spots I saw on tops of the foot before that I missed. And then there's a spot on the head that I had spot putty before I did anything else the other day. I need to review just to make sure. Here we go. So that wasn't too bad. Was it 30, 45 minutes to do that? To strip them? Do that trash, so I'll be smelling lacquer fumes for days if I don't. Alright. Take a few more wipes with the call Dave. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I was watching the YouTube video the other day on masterworking, and anyway, all my masterworking is done wrong. So like even my Ubers was not done right. It's fine. I mean, it's still fun to go around. I can go run hell tides and kill everything really damn quick, and especially with that loot goblin event that's going on now. There's loot goblins everywhere. I haven't got anything good from them, but it's kind of cool when you can kill 4 or 5 loot goblins at one time. Okay, so Pikachu is back down to bare resin. He's naked again. So what I'm going to do now is going to put the spot putty on. That's got to dry for like 30 minutes before I can do anything with it. So, Alexa, what time is it?
It's 2:35 p.m.
2:30. What time? Can't hear. It was only 2:30. Okay. I'm in good shape, actually. So that didn't take that long. I thought that would take much longer to strip. But again, he's a pretty simple sculpt. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spot putty the areas I know these spot putty. There's a spot on the head, here, and the tops of the foot. And I thought I saw one in the ear, but I can't. The thing is, some of it I can't see until after I start. Even with the primer, I couldn't see it, but the paint brought it out. I thought I saw one appear in the ear, but I don't feel anything. Yeah, we saw Dave was playing the other night. Me and Owen were on, but he was playing with, I think, his friend Gunther. So he was already in another party, so we can invite him to play. Oh, that sucked. Don't drop anything. Okay, I'm just taking clean rags with clean thinner. I'm just getting the last little bit of stuff off of him. So I'll put the spot putty on and it may sign off because I gotta wait like 20-30 minutes for that to dry before I can stand it. I only need a little bit, just real thin. And then I'll get this guy back in primer. Let that dry for 30 minutes or so. Get white paint on them. Let that dry for a while. So there's a few little marks right there I just saw. So, I mean, this gives me the opportunity to check for anything that I missed. Like I said, I found a few little pinholes I missed on the tops of the feet, so. Okay. Back to Naked Pikachu. This looks good. Clean surface to start over again. Let me get a towel and put him off. Alright. So I'm just going to take this. Oh, I could take it while he's here. I can show you, Tony, if you're still there, real quick. I can take the silly putty of the keys to the base since that's all done now. Oops. Oh, I just dropped some silly putty into the base. Oh well, I can't get that out now. It's just going to be in there. I fell in the hole. Okay, so just to show you real quick, well, I don't know if I can because I have to plug it in. I don't want to unmask everything. But anyway, there's a 1/2 inch magnet in this foot, and there's a nice big 3/8 magnet in this foot. And he goes down really. First time I put it, he went, boom, he clicked right in. So I'm not gonna worry about that right now because I don't have to deal with the wires. Okay, spot putty. So the areas that need spot putty, I'm just gonna put it on my finger so that I don't need a lot. It's right here on the top of this foot. Just spot on top of the head that I had done, but I'm pretty sure the back up there took it all out. Right there. And then I saw a little spot here. So this gives me opportunity to fix any little minor things that I saw. Again, my work is not perfect, but I do my best. So I'm just going to take this opportunity. There's one back here. Looks like they're going to take it out there. So this is an air dry putty. So it takes, depending on how thick you put it on, I don't put it on real thick. The thicker, the longer it takes to dry. But with the amount I put on, in about 30-40 minutes, I should be able to sand this smooth and then get him back in primer. So I think I'm going to sign off for today, guys, because, again, I just got to wait for this dry. I'm going to clean out the rest of the paint inside the cheek key here. I saw that. Let's get that out a little bit. This doesn't cause me problems later. So just a few hours today. Again, I got a late start with my doctor's appointment, and then I was trying to save the yellow paint, and it didn't work. So. Let's see what's there. Paint anywhere. Alrighty. Well, I guess I'll sign off for now. I'll sand this and yeah, I'll do pearl next if you want. We plan on doing pearl. I mean, I got a ton of stuff to do. I got a ton of stuff. I got a ton of work here, man. But I think I planned on doing bouncing back and forth. So I'll get this to a point, and then we'll have to just figure out a control board that we can splice into the power for the LEDs. I still have to order LEDs. Oh my gosh, I need to do that. I got to do that today. So I'll get on Evan's Design and do that. So maybe what I'll do that right now before I forget, because I keep forgetting. By the time I get done working for the day and all the other family stuff starts happening, I forget that, oh, I need to go do that. So since I painted all the parts clear yellow and clear orange, I'll just get bright white LEDs, so they're as bright as possible, and then that way they'll hopefully light up those clear parts for a while. You can see the putty's already started to change color. Here it goes from dark to light. There was one more. I could have sworn I saw a little spot on this here. I can't see it now. All right, I'm gonna throw some putty over here. I could have sworn I saw a little pit in this area. So I'm just going to kind of slather it all over in the general area where I think I saw it, and then when I sand, if it's there, I'll be able to see it. Alright, well, thanks for hanging out, guys. I wish I could have gotten more. I wish I could have gotten more painting done on him, but sometimes things happen and you gotta start over. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna go order LEDs now, and then I'll get this guy back in primer, and I'll just work a little bit later, try to get him back in yellow too, so tomorrow I can hand paint. I think I'll just hand paint the black areas instead of masking. They're simple, you know. So, all right. Thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you guys next time.